While World War II had ended in Europe, the war in the Pacific was far from over. Japan was still fighting fiercely, and the battles that followed would be some of the bloodiest in history. This is the story of the final battles of World War II in the Pacific. After years of brutal island fighting, the United States had pushed Japan back across the Pacific. By early 1945, the Allies were closing in on Japan's home islands, but Japan refused to surrender. The next targets were Iwo Jima and Okinawa, two islands that would bring the US within striking distance of mainland Japan. The battle for Iwo Jima began in February 1945. For over a month, American Marines fought against heavily entrenched Japanese forces in tunnels, caves, and bunkers. The fighting was so intense that nearly all of the 21,000 Japanese defenders fought to the death. This battle became famous for the iconic moment when US Marines raised the American flag on Mount Suribachi. Just a few months later, in April 1945, the US invaded Okinawa, the last major battle of the Pacific. This was the largest amphibious assault of the war, and the fighting was even more brutal than Iwo Jima. The Japanese used kamikaze attacks, crashing planes into US ships in a desperate attempt to turn the tide. On land, the battle raged for 82 days, with over 200,000 casualties on both sides. By June 1945, Okinawa was in American hands. But the cost had been staggering, and the thought of invading mainland Japan was terrifying. Estimates suggested it could result in millions of casualties. The US now had a difficult choice: continue the war with a full-scale invasion or use a new, devastating weapon that could end the war instantly. That decision would lead to the most controversial moment of the entire war. Could Japan have continued fighting if the US had invaded instead of using atomic bombs? Let us know in the comments. And if you're following this journey through history, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next episode, where we'll cover the dropping of the atomic bombs and the final days of World War II. Thanks for watching.